All right, everybody, what is going on? How are you guys doing? Okay, so these two are releasing tonight in about 4 hours, 40 minutes right here, so you guys can see the countdown timer on screen. If you're curious, you can go to Dokkan Info, link in the description below. Go to, oh, you can't see my mouse. Go to Dokkan Info, link in the description below. Go to Cards, go to Schedule, and you will be brought to this screen right here with LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Super EZA Tech Cell. So these guys are releasing tonight. I've done CALCS. They're already on Twitter. If you want to go check them out, they're already right here. Just posted them, so you can go check them out. I'm going to go ahead and hop into Gohan first. He is actually really easy. I'll show him on screen right here, but we'll actually hop into it on the Excel sheet here in a second. I just got to get rid of the sharks here. We'll keep one of them up. All right. So let's just go ahead and talk about what Gohan is doing. Let's go ahead and pull him up right here. Let me move. Actually, let me switch sharks real quick. Hang on. There we go. So Gohan, it gets 30% defense on each of his super attack effects. We know these don't change whenever you get your Super EZA. No exceptions here for the LRs. Luckily, they did give Gohan defense on his super attack effects whenever they EZA'd him originally. Pre-EZA, he didn't have any of that. And then they EZA'd him, and now they've Super EZA'd him, all that good stuff. So, we've got that 30% on defense there. So that's going to be a little bit helpful. You know, it's always good to have more defense and more phases. So, always good. So, basic effects, 258% defense here in passive phase 1. Then he's also getting 40% right here from the support that he gives. The only other defense in his passive right here is 158% that he gets when attacking with 12 or more ki. Pretty simple. So, 298% right here in phase 1, 158% right here when attacking in phase 2, and that's it. Everything else is just attack, and like he's got some damage reduction, he's got a little bit of, dodge, things like that. So, yeah, pretty, simple in terms of defense calcs, so that's good. Links, he does have Gaze of Respect. I did not consider that in these calcs because I don't think he'll get that active. I did one with Prepared for Battle, and then I did one with both Prepared for Battle and Shocking Speed because of those are his only 2 defense links, so I'll show both of those scenarios here in a second. This guy's on a ton of teams. I think you'll find him pretty good. Pretty good. Probably not as good as the new one, but I think he will be fairly solid. And if you've got this guy, this guy's pretty old at this point. There's a good chance that you've got him, or I think this guy was available to pick up with the red coin, right? Or the red stone. So if you guys pick this guy up, seems like he's going to be okay as far as like a filler option for some of these teams. He does have a couple 220%. He is a Earth protecting hero and an Earthbred fighter, so he's going to be on Vegeto's team. Unfortunately, he's not on Gogeta's team because, he's not a successor. He's not a fused fighter, and he's not, what's the third one, Pure Saiyan, so he's not any of those 3, so he's not on his team. He is going to be on the new Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's team, although I probably wouldn't run him on there just because then you have 3 Super Saiyan 2 Gohans who can't link with each other, right? So it's a little bit awkward doing that. And then he is going to be on Goku and Frieza's 220% for Battle of Fate. So got a couple 220% teams here, pretty good. Let's go ahead and switch over to the calcs right here. Let me get rid of the shark. I can probably go to this shark, right? Yeah, so we can do that shark. Let me, hang on. I gotta click on something. Okay, there we go. Let me zoom in a little bit right here. There we go, perfect. So, 13,806, that's gonna be his defense right here with, no equips, nothing like that activated. 10,806 is what his defense is going to be at, 55%. And then it's pretty simple to walk through his calc. So 220% leader skill. You're going to take this, multiply by 5.4. Links, 10% activated if you have both Prepared for Battle and Shocking Speed, which I think is going to be decently common. So you're going to take that, multiply by 1.1. Passive phase 1, we already discussed, he gets the 298%. That's from the 40% support and the 258% that he gets at the start of turn. So you take this, multiply by 3.98. Passive phase 2 is 158%, so you take this number, multiply by 2.58. And then he does get 30% on super attack, and then I don't believe he has any additionals in his passive, so he can only double super attack. So this is what you're looking like if he does double super. So about 1.3 million defense right there, with a little bit of damage reduction, a little bit of guards. So I think he'll be all right. As just like a floater, he is double orb changing, which is nice, so he's going to be hitting pretty hard. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this guy. Down here, you can see what he would look like with... Ooh, hang on, sorry. This is just with prepared for battle active, so you guys can see this line is a little bit different. This was prepared for battle and shocking speed, prepared for battle and shocking speed. Down here is just prepared for battle, so you can see it does go down a little bit, not a ton. I mean, what is that, about, 60,000 or so that you lose overall if you double super. If you're only super one time, what are you losing, like 50,000 defense? Not that big of a deal. It could matter, but, at the end of the day, it's not going to be too bad. And again, he does have... right here, if he's fighting an extreme class enemy, he's got a 40% chance to dodge. And then right here, with 3 or more key spheres obtained, he does get 50% damage reduction, so not too bad, right? I mean, he's getting other damage reduction in here as well, yeah. So if he's below 58%, or if he's at 58% HP or less starting from the 4th turn, he can get 80% before he attacks, so you could potentially put him in slot 1. And he's going to be doing a ton of orb changing at that point, right? Like, he's creating int key spheres here, he's creating rainbow key spheres, and he's creating more int key spheres. So, I kind of like that. I kind of like, if you go into a turn and your HP is low, that's going to be pretty common in some of these new, what are they called, formidable foes? Like the battle-hardened formidable foes fights. You'll be able to go in there probably with low HP. Now, I don't know if it'll be turn 4, but, if you those fights are usually going to go around turn 4, and, if you're at low HP, you'll be able to throw this guy in slot 1, and he'll do a big attack, 80% damage reduction. So I think this guy's going to be really good. Again, 40% damage reduction, or 40% chance to dodge, 50% damage reduction. I think that's pretty solid. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I don't think you need to give this guy any crit, so how would I build him? I would say dodge first, and then additional. I'd say those are what you want to give him. An additional attack is going to be good because it's going to give you more damage. This guy is stacking attack on his 12 key, but... he's stacking attack on his 18 key, but his 12 key is only giving him defense. So if you get an additional, it is going to help you do more damage, but and it'll help him be a little bit tankier. But I think overall dodge is what you want to go for. If you wanted to give this guy like 30 dodge and then whatever else into additional, I think that'd be good. Because again, he doesn't really need crit. He's got a ton of crit built into his passive already. I mean, with 3 key spheres, he's getting a 50% chance to crit, and with 7 key spheres, he's getting a guaranteed crit. So I think 7 key spheres is going to be pretty common whenever you're double orb changing up here. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you think, what you're going to build this guy with. But I would say you can't go wrong. Dodge and additional. I wouldn't give him much crit. If any crit at all, just make it very, very minimal. He's already int, so getting this guy's dodge up is going to be really good. And just, throwing him into that role, I think he will succeed. So mine will probably have maybe about 25 dodge and then maybe like 15 additional or so. We'll see. We'll see what I end up landing at, but that's kind of the plan in my mind at the moment. All right, so the other character that we do have coming out is Easy Cell. This guy was also pretty easy to calculate right here. Let's go ahead and go over his effects. So changes key spheres randomly from AGL2 tech, and then he's also double orb changing, so he creates rainbow key spheres as well. So getting this guy orbs is going to be really, really easy. Very, very nice. This guy does kind of struggle for key a little bit, so this is nice in his passive right here. Receives an additional 2 key per rainbow key sphere obtained. And he's making his own, so that's obviously really, really good. Anytime you're making your own key spheres, that's always good. And this guy's double orb changing. He's not going to be struggling for key, I mean, you guys have used Gohan, right? Gohan doesn't become a double orb changer until what? Like turn 4, 5, something like that. This guy is just a double orb changer on turn 1, so he is not going to be struggling for key whatsoever. He receives an additional 2 key per key sphere obtained. Already said that. Chance to perform a crit and damage reduction rate plus 20%. So he gets a baseline crit chance and damage reduction rate of 20%. So again, this is another character where you probably don't need to give him crit. He gets 5 free for being a tech character. I would put everything else into dodge and additional. This guy, he doesn't have a super attack effect because he is old, but he does recover 10% HP. So every time this guy super attacks, he's giving you 10% healing. That's still pretty good. So if you want to give him a little bit of additional there just for the damage and for some extra healing, I could see where that would be good. I'd say overall dodge is going to be the most valuable thing that you can give him, though. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you're going to build him as. But just know that he's not getting any extra stats from super attacking. He does just get the healing. So, if you're at full HP and you're getting an additional, I mean, it's going to be good for the damage, but... Anyway, he does already have a built-in additional as well, so launches an additional attack has a high chance of becoming a super attack. I wish this was just guaranteed like Buhan's, but I guess the trade-off is that he is creating his own orbs immediately, so there is that. When there's a superclass enemy, he does get another 20% damage reduction. As you guys know, there are plenty of superclass enemies right now. I would say that right now, the hardest fight is probably an extreme class enemy. It's probably Golden Frieza. But there are still several superclass enemies right now, so this is just nice. Right here, that you're going to be bumping this up to a baseline of 40% when facing a superclass enemy. Obviously, that's very, very, very good. He is debuffing for any fight that you can do that in. You know, that's helpful. When there's an extreme class ally attacking in the same turn, he does give 40% defense. I think this will be pretty common to see. You're just going to be running this next to like another big bad boss's character probably. Like you're not just going to be building like a, you know, like a Gohan-led team and then just throwing Cell on it. You could, but I think you're just going to want to be using this guy next to like, I believe this guy is on Accelerated Battle. Yeah, so you just throw this guy on like Glorio's team or something like that. I mean, he's on a ton of 200%, which is nice. But yeah, you just throw him on like Glorio's team. He's not on Glorio's 200%, I believe. Because what is it? You have to be on Dragon Ball Seekers if you're on Accelerated Battle. Because he gives Demonic Power 200%. Obviously, Cell's not on that. But he does give Accelerated Battle 170. So, I don't know. You just throw him on like Glorio's team. You get a bunch of like the Buhans and stuff around him. And I think he's going to be fine. Even if he's not on the full 220% leader skill. He does actually have two 220% leader skills. I don't know why they don't show up on here. Oh, Buhan's one of his 200%. So yeah, you could just run like the double Buhan team. That would work really well. Get him around the other Buu units like STR Kid Buu, Int Super Buu, this guy, maybe even Physical Kid Buu. That's gonna be really good. This is probably where I'll showcase him. I may do a run on the Glorio team just because the support is super helpful, but that's good to know. But he does have two 220% leader skills. He is on the Frieza because he's on Battle of Fate, and he is on Gohan's full power team. So he does have two 220% leaders. I don't know that I'd really want to run him on either. Maybe on Frieza's. I think it could work out well there. But you do want him around other big bad bosses characters. I think the easiest place to do that is going to be this guy's team. Does his domain buff him? What does his domain do? Power Absorption or Transformation Boost category, allies and enemies 15% attack. Is he on Power Absorption? He should be, right? No, he is not. I guess because this is after he revives. Or like, because is this Cell on Power Absorption, for example? Let me just look. Yeah, he's on it, but the Tech Cell is not, because that's like, the Tech Cell is post-revive, so, like, he doesn't, you know, he revived from a single cell, so it's like a whole thing to where that cell, like, that particular instance of Perfect Cell did not have to absorb anyone. That's just, like, pure Cell. So, unfortunately, Tech Cell would not be getting the domain effect because he's not on Power Absorption. And then what was the other one? Like Majin Power? I already forgot. It's been 2 seconds. But anyway, point being is that he's not going to be getting the domain effect. That kind of sucks. Anyway, so 40% defense right here. All that to say. So if you're fighting a superclass enemy, he's at a baseline of 60% damage reduction just for free, which is really, really nice. And then he is a nuker, so for every key sphere obtained, he does get 50% attack and defense. For my calcs that I'll show here in a second, I did 2 scenarios. I did with 10 orbs. I think that's going to be fairly common. I mean, he's double orb changing, right? So I think 10 is a reasonable number. You know, probably like 7 or 8 is what you can reasonably expect, but I think 10 is fair. And then I also did max. So if you were to get the full field, the full 23 orbs, what would that look like? Those are the 2 calcs that I did. And I'll kind of show you guys the formula. So if you guys want to set this up on your own, you can kind of check it out. And then for every rainbow key sphere obtained, he does get another 10% damage reduction and crit chance. So again, another character that you don't need to give crit to. Just like I said, just give him additional and dodge, or dodge and additional, whatever you want to go for. Just kind of balance it out between those two. And then 200% attacking. So as far as stuff that he's actually getting in his kit, 40% defense in phase 1 right here, 50% defense per orb in phase 1 right here, and then 200% when attacking. And that's it. He does have links. The only one I considered was Big Bad Bosses. The rest of this is kind of trash. I mean, you're just never going to see it activated until we get a new cell. I would like to see us get a new cell as like the first unit after Anniversary. I think that would work really well. I don't know what type of cell that I would want, you know, because we kind of have like, I mean, I honestly, no, because I don't, we need a new standalone perfect cell. What if they give us like a second form cell? What if like the first Dokkan Fest after anniversary was a second form cell? How would you guys feel about that? Huh. I think they could do it. I think they could do it. Anyway, let's go ahead and show his calcs right here. Let me just scroll up just a little bit. So, super easy A-Tech cell again, really, really easy. 14,443 is his defense without any equips. 10,243 at 55%. 220% leader skill, you'll take this and multiply it by 5.4. Big bad bosses, you'll take that and multiply it by 1.25. And then here's the formula that I'm using right here to calculate this guy's defense. So basically, this one right here is to calculate the base. If you don't know what that is, go check out my guide on how to calculate defense in Dokkan. We talk about the base, what that means, and why you have to include this one here. Then you can probably figure out what this is. So this is 5, so this is 50% per orb, and we're multiplying it by 10 orbs. And then the 40% right here is the 40% that we get if there's another extreme class category ally on rotation. So that's how we're kind of coming up with this formula. And so we're taking this, multiplying it by that. And so we're going to be at about 623k defense right here after collecting 10 orbs. And then after we super attack, you just take this, multiply it by 3 because he gets 200% when attacking. So you can see he's almost at 2 million defense, and he's got a ton of damage reduction. So this guy is going to be really, really good. And this is assuming no support right here. On this side, this is with support, same exact scenario, and you can see that he's almost hitting 2 million defense. I mean, he's just shy. One more orb, right? And we're clearing 200% defense. Or, I'm sorry, 2 million defense, not 200%. But yeah, you can see one additional orb, and there we go. We're clearing 2 million defense, so pretty good. Down here is if you get the entire board, what is he going to look like? So entire board with 40% support, and he's looking at almost 4 million defense right there. Look at that. This guy's really, really good. I think this tech cell is going to be another great villain addition. They've really been hitting on these villain super easy A's. I think this guy's going to be right up there with Gohan as just a must-run villain character. Anytime you're running one of these villain teams and you can put Cell on the team, he is definitely going to be a must-run. So let me know what you guys are thinking about this perfect Cell and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I think Gohan is going to be fine. But Tech Cell, I think, is going to steal the show. So I'll try to get showcases out for those tomorrow. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry I, kind of rambled on for a little bit in this one. But, yeah, again, if you want to check out the calcs, they are going to be up here on Twitter for you guys to look at. Thank you all again so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Vamos,